Welcome, fellow transurfers, to my Reality Transurfing Express lesson of the day. I am Renee Garcia, and today I'm going to be going over the powerful concept of the slide. So yes, the slide is a really powerful tool in reality creation, okay? Every one of us, every single living being on this planet is living through a slide of their creation, either mindfully or without awareness, and it is that slide which decides our version or our layer of reality, if you want to look at it that way. So what exactly is a slide? Well, a slide is a mental image compiled of our thoughts, our thought quality, our attitude towards the world, our imagination, our intentions. It is a distorted representation of reality that only exists inside of our own mind, right? So if I have a certain set of beliefs or attitudes about the world, right, that is my slide. That does not live in anyone else's head. That's why a lot of times we see negative attributes or qualities about ourselves, and other people don't really recognize those things because that is a slide that's playing only in my mind, and I'm highlighting that material in my mind and seeing my reality through that slide, and it may not necessarily exist for someone else. So they may not believe or see what I believe or see. So the cool thing is about being a human being is obviously we get to choose, right? We get to choose if we're creating a negative slide. We get to choose if we want a positive slide. And like Vadim Zeland says in the book, the most powerful slide that you can make as a human being is a goal-based slide. So that's why if you intend to be, do, or have something, right, you have to start with the slide. So let's talk a little bit about why slides work exactly. So a slide works because, remember, in the book multiple times Vadim Zeland says that all the world is doing is reflecting back to you a mirror image of your attitudes and beliefs towards it, right? So look at it like this. You have a film or a filter that is going over your vision. Okay, now you get to fill that film or that filter with any information or material or thoughts that you want, and you will connect with the alternative space outside of you through this film. Okay, so if I tell myself that I'm never going to be anything, and wealth is for other people, and I am going to have a challenging time in reality in my life, I am viewing my external environment through this slide that will then connect with material or information in the alternative space that will agree with my theory. Okay, so remember, the alternative space consists of an infinite number of variations of you or any event, and there is evidence to support all theories inside of the alternative space. Okay, so this is a very crucial point in the slide, because if there's evidence to support all theories, right, and there's an infinite number of variations of every event or version of you out there, then you are the one that gets to decide which version of you or which information you are going to grab to support your theory, right? But that theory that you have created for yourself is going to come in form of the slide, okay? So if I tell myself that I'm going to be successful, right? That I'm an entrepreneur, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to have, you know, all the stuff that I intend to have and do all the things that I intend to do, and I live my reality, right? I live seeing my reality through that slide. I am going to pull information and evidence to then support that theory instead of the other one. So let's talk about compiling a slide a little bit. So compiling a slide means that you embellish, right? You embellish this filter with information that is in line with what you intend to have. So let's say that you want to create a goal. Let's say that you want to do something for yourself. Let's say you want to buy a house, right? Like Vadim Zeland says in the book, you have to create a slide in your mind where you are living in that house, right? You are comfortable in that house. You are sitting in front of the fireplace. You're reading a book. You're enjoying the home, right? It is creating that scenario in your mind, which then allows you to connect with that information outside of you. Okay, so remember that every material manifestation of absolutely everything has to first start inside your mind. Okay, things don't just appear, they start first in your mind. It's the thought quality, it's the thoughts that you want to have something, it's the intention, right? It's the imagination. And then when you have developed this vision enough, right, then you can start connecting with the material version of it in your reality. But you're not going to just have things appear out of nowhere without doing the homework first, and that is, of course, creating your slide. So there's a little trick that Vadim Zeland also presents to us in Reality Transurfing, which has served me quite well. It's allowed me to drop importance on being someone, having something, doing something, and that is the concept of creating the negative slide, right? So this is how to drop importance on something so you do not create excess potential and you do not invite in balancing forces, making it more challenging for you to achieve your intentions. So what creating a negative slide looks like exactly is, and you don't want to do this often, you just want to do this for a short period of time. So you create the positive slide of the thing that you want, right? So let's say you want a new job. You start living through this slide of whatever it is that you want to do. You start acting like the person that you want to become. You start pulling information and evidence from your environment that is going to support your theory that you are going to have this profession, and you create that mental image that you embellish with as much detail as you possibly can, okay? But then, just so you do not create excessive importance and excess potential, you create a negative version of that exact same slide, and that is that you do not get or achieve your intention, okay? So what this does is, and again, you live through this for a very, very brief period of time. I'll maybe do this a few times with a goal that I have, is I just imagine that I do not get what it is that I want, okay? And I live through that for a very brief moment. And this allows me to sort of realize that it will actually be okay if I do not achieve this goal, okay? That the world's not going to come to an end, that my life's not going to halt, that I'm not going to fall to pieces, or, you know, some other negative thing is going to happen to me, okay? So this is me sort of accepting defeat in advance and that allows me to sort of release myself from some importance, and then I can go after my goal a little bit easier, not being all charged up with importance and excess potential. Okay, so the cool thing about a slide is that you don't have to figure out all the steps from point A to point B. A slide will sort of pull you along the way, okay? All you really need to do is create that image of yourself, whatever it is that you want to have, whatever it is that you want to be, whatever it is that you want to do, okay? And maybe put a little bit of information that you have already about what it will take for you to achieve this intention. Okay, as you're living through the slide will help you to connect with more information and more material in your external environment that'll help you realize your goal, okay, help you realize your intention. So this is also a pretty big release, right? You don't have to figure it all out first. You can just pull a little bit of what you need to start and get you going, and then let your world sort of do the rest. Let the slide take over and let things come to you in a more outer intention manner, if that makes sense. To wrap this up, I'm going to talk about one of the most crucial parts of a slide being successful, okay? And this really, really is very, very crucial, because if you can't do this one thing, you are probably not going to be successful in your slide, okay? And what that one thing is allowing yourself to have. A lot of us can create slides, we can embellish them with detail, we can have intentions, set intentions, and all the good stuff. But then we come up against a little bit of a brick wall when we do not allow the information or the evidence that we are going to achieve that thing, right? Or the abundance that we are looking for comes in our direction, and we do not allow ourselves to have it. I used to personally do this a lot. I was very, very good at creating a goal for myself. I was very good at embellishing in detail the life that I wanted to have, the goals that I wanted to achieve, the intentions, all that stuff. But then when reality presented those things to me, I was not in a position, for all sorts of reasons, but I was not in a position to allow myself to have. So you really have to sort of meet your world halfway, right? You have to do the action. You have to create the slide. You have to take the steps. You have to have coordinated intent, right? Work through the slide with heart and mind coordination, and do all the things that you need to do to create that material in your reality. But when that material does get created, right? When that material does manifest itself and present itself to you, you have to be in a position to take it, because it's like you reaching through that slide, creating that slide, and reaching through that slide and trying to connect with what you intend to have in your external environment, and then that thing coming right up to you and you not actually grabbing it and pulling it through the slide. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I know that it's abstract, but you know, it works for me, and I hope that it works for you. So remember, and this is a point that Vadim Zeland makes a lot in the book, and man, I have said this to myself a million times over. All your world is doing is reflecting back to you a mirror image of your attitudes and beliefs towards it, right? And your attitudes and beliefs that is your slide. So comment, like, I hope we have a conversation on this, everyone. Follow me on Instagram, reality_transurfing. Please follow the International Transurfing Institute Facebook group and subscribe on YouTube to TransurfingTV. And I hope you guys all enjoyed this, and let me know your thoughts. Bye.